what it is, live. You already know what it is. You already know what it is, live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All righty. We're about to roll tonight. We're about to roll tonight. Let's see what we're rolling with. All right. Y'all send me some stars. All right. That'll be cool. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. All right, come on in, family. Come on in. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Martin G. Johnson at One Faith, One Fold. And I guarantee you, for those of you that I block, hey, Sharice, what I see you. Those of you I block, you'll be welcome to see me from YouTube. Help me out, help a brother out. Tina, Anna Laura, what's going on, Tina? Vicky Gavin, what's going on, Vicky? Doretha Glass, hello, how you doing? Christine Reed, how you doing? Jules Smith, how you doing? Tanya White, what's up, Tanya? What's going on? How you doing? Kara Enron Win, hello from Oregon. Okay, Oregon in the house. Tina, Anna, Laura, live, uncut, unedited. That's what it is. Monique, what's going on? All right, Mo Bolden, hello, what up? What up now? Ricardo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. Live, uncut, unedited. I tell you, we definitely gonna have another show tonight. And you, one thing about this show, you never know what to expect. Somebody might explode on you. They may explode on me. Man, it is what it is. You know, hey, people get in their feelings and they mad and they upset. And hey, it's going on. Crow, my brother, what's going on? What's going on? James Brad, what's going on? All right. Monique McGee, what's going on? Greetings, everyone. All right. All right. What's that? Shanta Renee, live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. What is live, uncut, unedited? That's what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, this is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. It's that Chanel Jones. Good evening. And shame the devil. That's right. All right. All right. What's going on? I tell you. Brother Arnold Coleman, what's up, bro? What's up going on? What's going on? Well, do me a favor, everybody. Make sure you share this on your page so we can get it out. This is live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. I tell you, this is the truth. One thing about the truth, you don't have to rehearse it, people. It speaks for itself. It cuts the messenger and the one that's receiving it. It cuts both angles. I tell you, this is live, uncut, unedited. Come on and share it on your page. We got missing teenagers, we got missing folks just missing, and man, this world of what we gonna do, people? How can we make this mother earth a better place? I tell you, people, this is live, uncut, unedited, and I want to tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, come on in, people. I love being black. I love being black. I don't know about you. I love being black. Uh-huh. I love being black. All right. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. I know it. We know it. We got to figure out what's the teenager's next move. What's their next move? Come on, my YouTube family. Share the video. All right. We got to figure out what's the next move, people. What's that next move? I guarantee you they're going to try to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of us, but that's okay. We're going to keep it 100. You know, we're going to love on our teenagers. And all right. I want somebody to call in tonight, preferably a young person tonight. I want a young person call in tonight, and you can. I do me a favor. You call in, and I won't ask you your name, and just I don't care how young you are. What happened there? I don't know what happened there, people. That's strange. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. I don't know what happened. That's messed up there. All right. All right. That's the first time that ever happened. All right. I want some young folks to call in. Mic check 1 2. Mic check. I want some young folks to call in and talk to us. Some young folks. We had a couple of young people last night, 30 years old, but wait, well, maybe we get some more to call under that. I want some 17 and 14 and 15. I know you're supposed to be asleep. Well, you're supposed to be, but that's probably not the case. Call on in. Call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Again, call in number 872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. Where my young folks? Where my young folks at? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some young folks. Call in and talk to us. Come on, young folks. We need you to talk to us. I want us to talk to some young folks. I'm telling you. And listen, this is real. The numbers on the screen to your right, to my left, and to my left to your right, or to my right to your left. You see the number on the screen. You can call either or number. Xavier Dakes, what's going on, Xavier? I see you. 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 Nathan, what's going on? What's going on, brother Nathan? All right. Sherry Jones, Montjoy, watching live. All right. All right. Virginia Beasley. All right. Deborah Singleton. All right, Deborah. Tina, Anna, Laura. Black love, black power to the last hour. Race first. I love that, sister. You know that's me all day. Donna Williams, what's up, bro? What's going on, man? Tina said we gotta learn how to stop hating on one another, and she right. Barbara Melvin, what's going on? I see you. I see you. Sharon Williams, black is beautiful. Yes, it is. Lewis Ramsey, Mr. Martin, miss seeing you at MacArthur Soul Food Joint. Brandon Johnson was there. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Shantae Renee, question. Do we know who is behind the text message that's circulating with the kids all meeting up downtown? That is an excellent question, Shantae. That's a good question. Arnett Sessions. Hey, Martin, I was just about to go to sleep. Now you got to wake up and listen to Martin G. Johnson. Sharon. Whitney Rando. All right, good evening. Good evening. Jasmine Hines. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Desmond Colbert. What's the word? We finna get at it. All right. Tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what we're going to do. I got to call the people. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? We got to do something about our babies. What's that? All right, let me get this name right. Barbita. Okay, I hope I got that right. Chosen by God Johnson. Good evening. Wonderful. Hope I got your name right. We still be friends at the end of the live, Martin. I don't know if some of y'all want to be my friend. I don't know about that, Monique. Some folks, you know, they playing both sides. You know, they with you because they know you finna blow up. So they want to be right there. So they be right there with you, but really don't like you. You know, you got those people, they riding the fence. You got them like that. They don't like Martin Johnson, but they're gonna hang around him. So just in case if he's elevating, they can say I was right there. I'm cool with him. But go ahead, Marcus Robinson. He live, uncut, unedited. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right. Well, Martin, good evening. Thank you for allowing me to come on your platform.
Yes, sir. You my man, brother Marcus.
Before I get started, I want to take this brief moment to give a public service announcement to people who think that because I speak against these kids and I'm not one who make excuses for their behavior. I know that there are black kids that are doing positive things. I'm around them every day. And some of you all don't see me around them because I don't go live. I'm holding a camera in my hand, documenting them at a track meet, a basketball game, or football. For those of you who think that I have something against black youth because you think that they have whooped on me, I have not had a young person to hurt me at all, except for the one that carjacked me. And he didn't physically hurt me. But anyone who has had something stolen from them, it leaves a lasting effect on you, no matter how you try to hide it. It leaves a lasting effect. But what I will not allow it to do to me is make me hate my own people. I could hate the adults who were at the gas station that was laughing about it, but I won't, because there's good and bad in all people. And any one of you all that's on this live listening, the same thing can happen to you all. What is going on is that these kids are out of control. And the marching is great. The unifying is great. But as I stated before, start on your block. Start where you work at. Start in your house. Start with your nieces and your nephews. If you are a foster parent, don't just take the money that the state gives you and provide a roof for the child. Give them love like you would love your own biological child. And maybe that will stop this mayhem. There are some kids that go downtown, they're teenagers to have fun, and they have every right to go downtown in Millennium Park, the AMC, the museum, or wherever they want to go as a group. They have every right to do that. But what they don't have the right to do is jump on innocent people, take innocent people's belongings, burn up cars, and we make excuses for their behavior. They chose to act that way, so they should be able to take on the punishment that is rendered to them by local authority. They're flirting with danger when you go down there and you tempt the police to chase after you. You don't know how that's going to end up. You might end up on the 10 o'clock news dead because a cop shot you because you was tempting. What we need to do, some of us need to do, is we need to quit making excuses, and we need to quit trying to analyze how somebody feels when you don't know that person. I love my people, and out of love, I'm going to speak against the ignorance that they do. I'm going to analyze it. And to be honest with you, there are jobs out here for young people. You can ride a bike and make money doing DoorDash. You can do Grubhub. You can do Instacart and make some good money. You can also do Amazon Prime or Flex and make some good money. But the reality is, some of these kids, they want that hip hop money. They want that video money that they see in them rap videos. There's no job on this planet that could afford to pay them like that. That company would go out of business if they paid them that make-believe amount of money. You have to work and you have to earn that. There is no get-rich instant. Maybe they've let a few people get rich just to lure you into this get-rich-quick scheme. There is no get-rich-quick scheme. You have to sit down with yourself and say, I'm living in poverty. How do I get myself out of it? There are ways to make money. You can start your own business. Instead of going in the stores, filling the clothes. Why don't you wear the clothes, take pictures in them, send it to the company, and maybe they'll pay you to model the clothes and give you the clothes. You get a check. But I understand young people don't think like adults. But these young kids are not stupid. The ones that's going downtown, that's doing what they're doing, they are not stupid. They're ahead of us every time we as adults plan something. People say that every time I come on here, I'm speaking bad about the black youth. That's a lie. I've said some good things about our youth. I try to balance it out because it's a small percentage that's actually doing this. And some of it is adults that dress like young people and go down there. And all it takes is one or two to start something, and the whole crowd will follow. That's all it takes. But if some of these young artists will get involved with what the ministers are doing, with what Martin and them are doing, with the Chicago Kids line, it will change a lot of things because these kids listen to their own kind. They listen to the artists. If they would come on board, they could change a lot of things. If they so much as came over the radio and said, y'all, we got to stop this tearing up our city. Chicago is our city. It's their city. Downtown belongs to everybody. And you don't, we talk about we don't have nothing in our neighborhood. Well, we helped tear up our own neighborhoods. We had skating rinks. We had open gym, midnight basketball. What did we do? Somebody didn't want to follow authority. Somebody couldn't take the ref making a call. They go get a gun and shoot somebody. We used to have basketball tournaments outside at the park district, but they don't do it no more because of somebody going to get a gun, wanting to shoot up the park, or somebody wanting to turn their pit bull loose and let the dog bite people that's sitting around watching the game. We have got to check ourselves. We talk about the police department being accountable. We talk about the teachers being accountable. We talk about the people in City Hall being accountable. But when is black people going to be accountable for their own actions? They're showing us on the news because they want to make us out to be the worst race on the face of this earth. And they want all the other races to turn on us so that they can have an excuse to exterminate us. We know that the magnifying glass is on us. So when I get on here and talk about how these kids are acting, this is my honest opinion. Some of these kids need their ass whooped. And some of them need more than a belt brought across their behind. They need to go back to the old way of Pumpkinhead. They need a beat down by the village because you don't have to go downtown to tear up, and you don't have to tear up in your own neighborhood. You don't have to throw trash in your neighbor's front yard and then get mad when they ask you not to do it. You don't have to kick over garbage cans and then wonder why the city won't put none down. You're kicking them over. You don't have to break windows of abandoned houses and abandoned buildings. You don't have to do that. You don't have to turn those abandoned houses into trap houses, into places where you do all your dirty, devious work. You do not have to do that. And then blame the white man for it.
Mm-hmm. And Marcus,
some of it is to blame for us, as harsh as it may sound.
Yeah, hold it, Marcus. 1 second. Let me see what this caller's got to say. 9509. Hey, caller, you're live, uncut, unedited.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, turn your Facebook down, babe. Because I heard a little slight echo, and I know you got it up. Turn it down. You still barely hear.
Okay.
All right. Where you calling from, young lady?
I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois, on the south side.
South side. You okay? I'm finna say something, but I ain't gonna say that. It was gonna make you laugh, but I ain't gonna say that. they gonna cuss me out. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say what you represent, but I'm just being funny. All right, come on, talk to us. you want to discuss something that Marcus said, or about the young people? What is it that you want to talk about? Discuss the thing.
Well, I mean, I agree with some of the things that he's saying.
Well,
But I have been watching a lot of this new stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook. And we as parents have to be real with ourselves. We sit in here and want to be responsible for certain things, but when it comes to our children, we give excuses. The stuff that's been going on way before this incident happened over the weekend should have been addressed. We keep depending on CPD, depending on pastors, depending on activists and after-school programs and all that. It started at home. Ain't no way in hell you had so many kids downtown that literally outnumbered the police. That is ridiculous. Who's being accountable for that? These are minors. Where's the mothers at? Then you getting these pastors that want to do a march for all the guys and fathers to come outside for, to do what? Because at the end of the day, it started at home. Where's the mothers at? Let's call them out. Let's call the ones who are responsible for each individual that come out here and take from us. You know what I'm saying? You got your sons out here killing, stealing, and robbing, carjacking. You got your daughters on trains. They want to beat everybody's ass on the train. It's just getting out of control. It's only so CPD can do. And we as Chicago people know where that can go with our kids. Because I'm going to tell you this. What's going to happen is some kids going to take their ass back downtown, and it ain't going to be nothing but an understanding with these police officers to take their ass out. So now you got kids outnumber the police, which put them in a position to make their lives, they fear for their lives. So what's the next solution to that? Because there's nobody there to stop what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got kids that's out of control, and we constantly looking for the city to help our kids and come one as a unit. But what are we doing with these parents? Where's the mamas at? You talking about discipline? They should have been got their ass whooped. These kids is out of control. We as a village can't do nothing because you still got mamas who are young mamas at 18, 19, grandmamas by 30, and they have dropped the whole situation with their household just to have a peace of mind of their own life. So their kids is not a priority. You know what I'm saying? It's an option, you know, because it's not a choice. So at this point, what can we do as a community? You know, you could go to block, but you might get 4 or 5 people out of a block that really want to participate in their community because the community is torn. You got these nieces and nephews and uncles, and everybody want to control something but themselves. Mamas can't control their sons. Mama can't control their daughters. Daddy can't control their sons, and daddy can't control their daughters. So what do we do? Because y'all keep saying it take a village, but what village is stepping in? What can we do with somebody else's kid that don't want to listen?
Okay.
Some of these kids are out of their own damn mind. They don't have
I need you to hold it for a minute.
no love, no attention, no affection.
Mother, I'm assuming that you're a mother. I need you to hold it for a minute. Now, you just talked about them pastors going downtown and all that. Then you turn around and say, there ain't no village. What the village gonna do now? Now, you may not agree with the pastors going downtown, all men. You may not agree with that. But I believe it's a step in the right direction. Now, we know our pastors, they can publicly stunt, and we know the story behind the pastors, the preachers, but it is a step in the right direction. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to let you finish talking, because the line blowing up. Something's going to happen to one of them young folks down there. And it might not be right. And the police are only going to take so much. They can only control the police so much. When I say they're superiors, you know, and I don't want the police to get hurt either. So I'm not just concerned about the young people. I'm concerned about the police as well. Because, you know, these young people, they can shoot at the police too. I hear it all the time over the scanner. They shooting at the police. And my point is to tell you, we can say this, that we could blame everybody, but I think it's all of our problem. all, including me, even though my children went downtown, but still is all of our problem. It's all of our problem. And we got to do something about it. And again, let me just say this. We have to be careful what we say about the young people. I'm trying to tell you guys, if we want to bring young people and old people together so we can find out what's going on in their mind, I think we should do that. But the route where we going, the way we talking, is not doing nothing but it's going to widen the gap. Every young person don't have a mother. Well, you say, well, what are you saying, Martin? Some young people, they runaways. Some people are ward of the stakes. Some people are foster children. They don't know they and not making an excuse for bad behavior, but a 15-year-old, what goes on in the mind of a 15-year-old? Do we really expect a 15-year-old to act as an adult? We know once our teenagers, I'm saying our teenagers, that's not supervised what they're capable of doing. Now, all of a sudden, we surprised, we mad. They tying up the white folks' neighborhood. They down the white folks making us look bad when they put them on TV, giving them all the attention they want. This is national news right now. And some of the same people that's calling in, I'm not talking about you, Mom, that's on my live feed, their sons and their daughters and their nieces and nephews was downtown. And they know it. They're aware of it.
Uh-huh.
They're aware of it. But when one of these little teenagers get blown off the face of Mother Earth, then you're going to want people like me and other people, news channels, say that was wrong. But where was you at when we sent out the alert and let you know, go get your son, go get your daughter? Now, I don't see nothing wrong with young people going downtown. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see nothing wrong with it. They can go anywhere they want to. This is not South Africa. They free to roam. But what I do have a problem is when you're destroying property, when you're beating up people, when you just making mayhem downtown. And we got to remember as parents and grandparents, what we call fun is not what they call fun. Now, they might set a car on fire and video it.
Uh-huh.
That's fun to them. They go right to that digital crack on the internet, the social media, and put it up. That's fun to them. Why? Because they have no skin in the game. That car don't belong to them. They don't know the person. They don't care. Hey, look what we done. And right now, they know everybody's watching them. Everybody's watching them. And trust me, they maneuvering. And I believe personally, I can't prove it, but I believe somebody's paying a lot of these young folks to write these little trend things and activate them. That's what I believe. I can't prove it, but that's just my belief. Huh? Go ahead,
I said it might be an adult.
Yeah. So that's just my point. Yeah. That the digital crack is real, people. And we see it all the time. We buy
It
something.
is.
I mean, we at the dinner table, they texting. In the bedroom, texting. At school, texting. In the car,
But it's called,
go ahead, sister.
but it's called controlling. Parents have the right to control what go on in their household.
Yes.
I'm a mother of 6, 4 boys and 2 girls. Okay, my oldest son 22, and my oldest daughter is 19. Not saying where you come from give you a reason to do the things that you do, but there's called common sense. And with that being said, it don't take that much to not to know what not to do and what to do. And at this point, it's out of control because there's no boundaries. There's no structure. You know what I'm saying? These kids are just out here. And yes, we have a lot of kids that's coming from broken homes, disturbing situations. But let's just be real. How many of those kids are in that situation that's actually doing half of the stuff that kids that's in a better position, that's dressed well, that go to school, mom and daddy work every day, they have no reason to act the way they act. So when we look at behavior and look at certain situations, you have to think back too, like, well, what would cause this child to go this way? Because a lot of this is peer pressure. A lot of this is where I should fit in, who I should hang with, what I should do, because they don't have an open mind of what they want to do in life. And we have parents who work 12, 14, 16 hours that can't give their kids the time, the love, and affection. You see what I'm saying? That give these kids the leeway to do what they want to do. But like I tell any mother, any woman, that job still gonna be there. You could drop dead, have an asthma attack, have a heart attack. They gonna hire the next person to fill your position. So I'd rather be in a position where I'm balanced enough to know that I can still able to provide for my household, but I still is the head leader of my house, because I wouldn't want my kids to go out here and do nothing that's going to turn back on me or fall back on them. And it's bigger than just everybody pitching in. These kids need to be sit down and talked to. Love is a big thing. Affection is a big thing. And a lot of these kids are not getting that. And then, yeah, they crying out, but they crying out in the wrong way.
Well,
I would love to see a trend where we could get all our youth to come downtown together and sit down, and we all can, as a village, could come up with a solution of how can we go from a next step then going backward. Because at the end of the day, we still not hearing what they got to say. Because we're going to still go through the same weekend trend until something major happens. Then we got a city full of mothers and fathers and grandmothers who's burying kids. We already burying our babies every day. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep Baby and Ray Ray off the trigger. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do something. Let's make a trend for that. Invite our youth out. Open up a church. Bring them in. Let's bring the necessary networking and people we could come in and help these kids. Let's start there. Because other than we coming out as adults, they only seeing it. I don't hear nobody say, come out. Let's talk about it. Let's put a big thing together and get these kids out here. Let's hear their point of view. What it is that's making them do these things. What it is that we as people can help them as a village. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of talented kids in Chicago.
Nah.
But is they using it the right way?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Hold it. Now you sound like two different persons. From when you first call, the second time you talk, now you seeing things. That's what I wanted to get out of you. Now you talking. Now you more so talking solutions now. Now, so many of us, we can point out everything that our youth are doing wrong, but we have no real solutions. None. Now, when I say solutions, as a body of people, as a group of people that we all can get on board and do. Everybody, people knocking the pastors for going down there. People knocking this person for going down there. Listen, the world is a big stage and everybody got their role to play. You know, I'm not a part of the faith community. So, I mean, I appreciate the brothers from going downtown. Now, did they probably accomplish something? I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm thankful that they went down there. Yeah. Now, let me just say this. Andrea Davis, all these young kids went out and voted for the new mayor because he stated, defund the police. Now, look at the results. Nobody wants everybody to stay safe. Now, listen to this. Andrea, do me a favor. Call in. I want to say something to you. I want to address that. First of all, Brandon Johnson is not the mayor right now. He's the mayor elected. He have not been sworn in office. And I'm going to tell you something, Andrea. Training has been going on for the last 3 or 4 years that I know of. Okay? It didn't just start with black people. It didn't just start with black people. So you can't talk about defund the police. Now, let me say this with the police. I respect the police. But I need you to stand in front of them parents that lost a son or daughter to gunshot violence here in the city of Chicago and ask them, is the police doing a good job? And they'll probably tell you no. Well, why would they say that, Bart? Because my son case have not been solved. I don't know anything. All right? So is it that the police is not doing a job or the community is not cooperating? What is it? Or are they standing down on crime when it comes to black community? Now, listen, we all in this together now. We gotta tell the truth and shame the devil. We gotta tell the truth and shame the devil, people.
Nope.
You know, because, hey, The
Nope.
police? The police?
Yeah, I like what Steve Darkson just said.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said some fathers being pushed away from these bitter mothers, but nobody talking about that. And that's a fact too. And that's where the
Yes.
homes are getting broke up too. Mothers are bitter. Mothers don't want to get over what they've been through with these men, and they allow the father to not be a part of their child's life. And there's a lot of good men out here that want to be in their sons and daughters' life. But then, like he said, you got these baby mamas. So then now the baby mama in the house raising their kids, and she has no more control because where the father should be placed at to do his part, he ain't even there. So this is making the job twice harder for the mother. Now it's out of control because you can't do nothing. A woman can't raise no boy. A woman cannot raise no boy to be a young man to become a man. So at the end of the day, when we not allowing the father to come in and do their part, what they supposed to do in the household, then we fail as mothers too. So we fail twice because we allow our personal issues to come between our kids. And that's real talk.
Okay. All right. You hold it, young lady. I need to go to my next caller. You can hang up if you like. That'll be okay. If not, you can hold on. 6112. I believe that's Reb the Barber. People tired of holding. Go ahead, y'all. I'm sorry keeping y'all on so long. Reb the Barber, go ahead.
All right. Just listening in, I hear a lot of people knocking the passes from going downtown. I actually commend them based on their try. It sets a certain standard. It tells you that the men are listening. You know, everybody asks where the men at. And it shows that they can stand up and at least go downtown. What I will charge, being a fellow pastor, I'll charge some pastors and all them men that follow them pastors down there because I think so. Because Martin, I just sit back and I watch the flow and see a God that's in the midst of it. You know, I don't just jump on anything. But I charge that if they went down there, that it would be sincere and it wasn't just a publicity stunt. I had a brother that asked me, well, where's the unification when we are faced with what we face with in our own communities? Why did it take the point for them to go downtown and hear the noise of them saying, look at what they're doing downtown for them to unify like that? And that's a good question. You can't get mad at that question. And that's why I say I charge them to not be doing this based on publicity. I charge them to allow this to be consistent. While downtown is being publicized on this platform right now, you still have the CPA train stations and Roosevelt, 95th, and all these stations where people are still on the platforms being harmed. You got people still on the trains being robbed. 500 black men downtown. Like I say, I commend them. It's important to break up on what you call tribes now. While you got 100 men, it should have been 100 men and making solutions that's in front of City Hall, preparing a way to partnership with the elected mayor, to have a voice to sit up there and say, well, hey, we will do all we can to build a relationship with these children, but we want a voice here at this table to make sure that we can speak for the cries of these children. Let's not think that these children are just zombies and just out here doing this and they're out of their mind. We're out of our mind because we're not in touch to their reasoning. And if you ask these children 10 to 20 years from now when they're older now, and they see in the interview and you ask them what was going on back then, they'll tell you the story. Hey, we was young just like we were. Just like I am. I'm still young. I'm only about 10 years older than 10 or 20 years older than most of them kids down there. So they would say that we was young, and that was our way of crying out for their attention. We seen what our people went through, what our parents went through, and then you gotta understand, like we so far out of reach with these children. These children are the children of those that my kids that come from my seed. But my mother is a grandparent that's totally out of touch with this generation. So we sitting out here and we speaking for kids that we out of touch with. And that's a big problem too. It's more of do what I say, still do what I say, and not what I do. When we have set an example out there on what to do. Now, some things they're not listening to us on is we're not scared of that systematic mindset. They're willing to do anything to get to what they're calling for in this generation right now. We got to understand this generation. So I commend the pastors. I don't knock them. Me, it's like I say, a fellow pastor, a brother of the flock. I ask that you be consistent, not only consistent, but you be sincere and not be in this thing for a publicity stunt. Not because the big name said, let's go down there, you know what I'm saying, and do this. Because really, when you went down there today, okay, you set a standard, but you didn't do anything, really. I mean, you would have asked me, where's the negotiation table at? It wasn't no kids down there. Why you talking about going down there? The kids probably setting up, if they would do, they're smart. They setting up another place to go tear up if that's the mark for them to do. We still worry about, okay, when they're going to attack again, when they're going to attack again. And it might not be attack on the way again. Right now might be the settlement time, them saying that, hey, y'all heard us. If we wanted to, we can again. But really open up some doors for us. Don't be lying to us and telling us you're going to invest in us and need support or give us support and give us opportunities that's really not there. So let time go, let flow go. Me, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to continue to pray. I can't honestly just jump on anything. These kids ain't going to listen to anything. And these my little brothers and sisters, trust me. I know them. I'm just a generation older than them. And I ask that people just give it a chance and listen to them. Stop demonizing them. Stop thinking that you speak for them because you are not their leaders. They're not listening to you. You lead those that's listening to you. And really right now, no pastor, no police, no alderman, no mayor, no, I don't care how powerful you is in this city and who you think you is in this government, you do not have the ear of these children. But you got something to give. So give something in order to get their ear. I guess that's all I got to say for now.
Okay. Listen, let me just say this. If there's any children out there that want to call in, teenagers that want to call in, you don't have to say your name or the school that you go to. Call in and see. Okay, let me say this. Let me just say this. I'm going to try to say this the right way. A lot of parents on here, you swear at your children. You cuss them out like they're a stranger on the street. You talk to them any kind of way. Now, what type of results that you think is going to come from that? They're little people too. They have feelings. How would you like if I tell you get the F out of my face or shut the F up? You wouldn't like that as an adult. But that's the way we talk. Some of us talk to our children. I'm talking about black people now. All races do, but I'm talking about black people right now. So verbal abuse is just as dangerous as physical abuse. We make statements as parents. Oh, you look just like your ugly mama. Or you act just like your daddy. I mean, these children didn't ask to come here. Some of us, we don't want to be parents. We don't want to be parents. Any window of opportunity that we can push our little ones off on somebody, we'll do it. So we can go out and do our thing. And some of us had our children young, 14, 15, 16, and we had to kind of grow up and be more responsible because we got another mouth that we brought in this world. And you got some of these parents out here right now, grandparents like me. I'm not watching no Bad Babies. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So you go out there, shake your butt. You laid your behind down the head and you deal with it. I'm going to hold them, I'm going to love on them, kiss them, and pass them right back to you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's what I do. I love every last one of my grandchildren. I promise to God I do. But guess what? I'm not finna be babysitting so you can run out the street and do what you do. Now, I babysit if it comes to you go and look for a job or something constructive. That's the only way. Otherwise, I'm not letting you run out there and get no pleasure. Learn how to be a parent. Stand on it. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of us, and we don't want to talk about it, I said it on the radio today. As parents, we don't like the way we was raised. So what we do is we raise our children differently from the way we was raised. And look at the results. Look at the results. Some of you have children, I'm talking about not grown-ups, that stand in your face and cuss you out. Some of us have children that is ready to fight us and will fight us. And they tell us what they're not going to do or when they're going to do it and when they're going to come in the house. And, we so weak and we just fall prey and let them do anything we want to do. Yeah. That's real talk. So y'all on here talking all that stuff and your house is out of order. Your kids are lying to you. They cussing you out. They talking back. They're not doing well in school. They stealing your money. You got to lock everything up. You got to hold your keys on you because they stealing your car. We don't want to talk about that. But you didn't want to raise your son and daughter like your mother and father raised you because you felt like you was abused. It wasn't right. Now, look at you and look at your children. I think we better think twice before we start doing that. And a lot of us, just coming up, include myself, I didn't have the best of clothes and the best of gym shoes, and I had to do what I had to do. Some of us got teased, some of us didn't. Now, as parents, what we do is, this is what we do as parents, we buy all our children everything that we didn't have when we was coming up. And what we should have been focused on is teaching them everything that we didn't know to arm them with the necessary information through school. One thing I learned about teenagers, they're going to tease each other. They're going to play the dozen or signify. They're going to fight. They're going to argue. That's what they do. That's what they do. And the worst thing as parents that can happen to a parent for our teenagers to draw up on us and don't talk to us. Well, you say, well, what do you mean, Martin? When I say talk, they can't have a sexual conversation with us because they're afraid we're going to judge them. They can't tell you that they're being bullied because we're going to call them a punk. Go on, you better fight back. They can't tell you that the class they in, they failing because they don't understand. They need a tutor. Not my child. My child is smart. He or she always got good grades. Listen, I just found out, talking to my 22-year-old, she said, Dad, my 22 ain't never failed a course, but in college she failed a course. And she never told me that until, just recently. And I was like, man, that's not like none of my babies, I think I had an older daughter that failed class one time, bad grades, and there was a lot going on at that time. But our children, they're silent when it comes to us. They don't talk to us. We think we know them, but we don't know them. That's why they got the snatch and grabbers. They got the fraudsters. They got the gay clubs. They got the gangs. They got the gangs. They got the rappers. Who is your son and daughter hero? Is Nicki Minaj your daughter hero? Is one of these drill rappers, and I'm not going to name no name because I don't want nobody saying I'm on here dissing them. Is one of these drill rappers your son's favorite hero? Really? Think about it. How do your sons and daughters view you? I'm talking about the teenagers now. That's what I'm talking about. The teenagers that you protected and nursed and everything that's cussing you out right now. I don't hear parents say that. They always get on here and say what the teenagers not doing, but they never say what their own teenagers doing to them. Now, how many parents on here can truly say that your son is out of control? He don't listen to you. He cuss you out. He bring girls in there. She bring girls in there. They bring things in the house. They bring weapons. They smoking drugs in the house, playing loud music. They come in anytime they want. You know, parents gonna get on here and say that because they don't want to look bad. But we have those type of parents that's on this live feed right now, demonizing other children and their children right along with it. How many parents on here right now know that your son killed somebody? You know your son did it, who was involved in it. Talking about held accountable. I had to say that. Let me go to the next caller, people. 912. Go ahead, area code.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I thought that was Sarge. I just wanted to make sure somebody else coming from the other code. What's going on, brother? There's a man here.
Oh man, there's a lot of talk about a lot of things, but I tell you, when I was in my junior year of high school in 1980, teams were the same way. They were the same way, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the grandparents of what we got out here today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, when they thought, the city of Chicago thought we're going to build Paul Robeson High School. It opened in 1977. That was the first year. We're going to give them this new high-tech school that's going to solve it all. It didn't. It didn't. Some of the people that went to Robeson with me, they were doing the most back then. Their kids that were doing the most afterwards, and their grandkids out here doing the most today. This is generational, Martin. This, people think that they could have a quick fix system and just, okay, this is what we could do. All right, now that sounds good when people say it. But when you talking about you got generations of dysfunction, your dad there got to throw the baby out with the bathwater, just start all the way over. I mean, what you think? That makes sense?
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Sarge. Let me just say this, brother. How many children do you have, bro? Do you have any children? Do you have any?
Yeah, I got two.
Two.
Huh?
Okay. Let me say this. In respect to all these parents on here, parents. Now, it's easy as a parent for us to point the ills and the wrongs out at another parent, children. And you got those type of parents on here right now. They see something wrong with everybody else's son and daughter, with the exception of this. They don't see guns coming in their house. They don't see the point where your son coming in the house or daughter have a key fob, fob on their key ring. And they don't have no car. Well, not supposed to have one, but they're driving one. And you, well, girl, who car you got? Oh, this so-and-so will take me to the grocery store. And come on now, mama. Mama, I'm like old timer. I haven't heard from him in a while. A lot of y'all parents are up with all this mayhem. A lot, because guess what? You felt like you got robbed since you had your children at a young age. You felt like that you got robbed of your youth because you had to be a mother. You was in motherhood. And you might be right. But guess what? You're not the prize. Your sons and daughters are. You are an adult right now, and you have to carry yourself as an adult in front of your children. You have to be an example. Brother, that's the best teacher of all. Not what you say out of your mouth. Is what you do in front of your children that really matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day. Now, I can go into, well, you ain't got no man there. How many baby dads? I'm not going into that. That's a whole nother subject. Listen, your children live with you, do what you have to do as a parent. Now, some of y'all parents, you do have to play the role of a father, and I know you can't be a man, I know that, but you have to do what you have to do. I understand that. And I always tell parents, when you know you have done the right thing to your children, for your children, and they go out there and do something, commit a crime or whatever, that's not what you taught them. There's nothing you could really do but pray for them and get them some help. Because they didn't get that from out of your household. You didn't carry on that mess.
Okay.
We have to say that. They didn't get that mess on.
Hold on, let me take it out.
Yeah, please turn your phone down. 708 just came on in. Turn that phone down. Because echo. So, Sarge, I'm not a military man. I'm not a military man. Military works for some
This
people.
had nothing to do with the military.
No. I'm saying this to say this. No, I'm saying to say this.
Mm-hmm.
What worked for your son or my son may not work for the next person's son. Some people go to AA meeting. They feel like they on drugs or they got this stuff. Some people just stop cold turkey. Whatever works for you, that's what you do. You know, a lot of times we knock a lot of things that we each other's involved in. I'm going to tell you, I got a friend right now, and you guys know him. Military been good to him. He's well off. He's been great. I'm not a military man. Personally, I wouldn't go to the military, but I wouldn't stop nobody going to the military. If it's going to make you a better person and put you in a better position in life to be a productive person, so be it. Let it, do it. Do it. If it's going to take you to get around some positive people that's doing things to get your life together, do it. If it's going to take you to get a mentor, do it. If it's going to take you to have a prayer warrior to be in your corner, to call once a day or every other day and pray for me. I don't want to discuss what's going on, but just pray for me. If that works for you, do it, people. Do it. It's so easy to gravitate to things that's not right. It's easy to hook up with the guys, to get in some trouble, and hard to get out. Now, people, our schools are messed up in our community, and I know it. I know it. The teacher had to spend the first 10 to 15 minutes calming everybody down so he or she can go on with her or his lesson plan. Because somebody want to do an outburst. Somebody want to be a classroom clown. And that's normal. I once was a classroom clown, showing out in front of some female. But that's what I had to say. I had to say that. I think I got Dr. Sanders on here. Dr. Sanders, I think you're on here. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm here. Well, Martin, you are hitting on some very valid points. Let me tell you what I've heard, and this is directly at these young mothers. When I hear you with your child or children, meaning you got more than one, I've heard a lot of these girls, like you said, Martin, step the F up, sit your ass down. That's not a way that you talk to your child. And me permanently, I would take your child from you because you cannot rear a child. And as the gentleman said earlier, they go to school and then they come back to school and deal with us by cussing us out because of what you do and what you say. Let me say this. If you are not deserving of a child, then give the child to somebody that do not have the opportunity to be a parent. It's disrespectful to a child, and that child grows up with mental abuse, and then when they go to school, they're saying exactly what you're saying to them. That's a learned behavior, and that's not cool with them. But then you get to arguing on the phone. I heard a few of you all talk about how baby mama get married to daddy and vice versa. But you all will go in the bathroom and you'll be cussing that guy out on the phone. yelling and screaming and hollering while the child is begging for your attention. Let's just really talk to what it is. You don't care about your child. Then you worry about welfare. Okay, welfare is to help you until you can get on your feet and be able to do what you need to do. But then you worry about food stamps. Do you really know what it's for? Do you know what what's the fundamental of it? Do you know the history of public welfare? But you do wrong to your child and your children. You'll walk in front of them while they dragging behind you, trying to catch up to you, with the opportunity of being hit by a car because you're looking elsewhere. I'm telling you what I've seen in the street. And then you'll go in the store and you'll be yelling at them in the store, loud, screaming, coming there with your pajama pants on and a wrap on your head. Come on now. But you buy all of the stuff at the beauty supply store. Your child, you won't even put a t-shirt under your child's clothes so they can keep warm. You don't put no socks on them. Put on a jacket when it's cold. You want to put on a little thin jacket that you wear in the summertime, and then when it's hot, now you want to put on corduroy. A lot of the teenagers listen to what you say. You worry about getting weed. You worry about bringing in different men over your children. They shouldn't see men coming through your house like run through Richmond. So they pick up that behavior. Some kids live through that and don't do what you do. Because now you turn them to rap. This is what you're doing. And not all teenagers come from bad homes. Some of them come from two-parent households and still don't want to obey the parents. So they get to school and they gravitate to other students who have the ability to show them good or bad. And they just do monkey see, monkey do. This is what you want to do. And nobody's throwing off on you, nobody's picking on nobody, but this is reality. And for Martin to expound on it, it's the truth. Because you're taking on the phone and your child is trying to get your attention. Nose is running, clothes smell like weed, book bags smell like weed. And then they cuss out the teacher and they cuss out the caregivers. They do all of this. Then you get mad at the daycare center. Daycare center tell you to have your kid in there by 9 o'clock. You come in 9:30, you come in 9:45, you come in 10 o'clock. Then you want to cuss out somebody. I remember when I was in 3rd grade at St. Ambrose Catholic School. And there was a parent-teacher conference one day. The next day, one of the parents came. And because their child was not doing the work academically, guess what that parent did? He jumped on my teacher, Miss Nixon, and snatched her wig off her head and threw her on the floor because her child failed. But we saw that. We saw the ugliness of what a parent can do. When we tell you all to come get your kids after school, you don't want to come get them on time. You don't want to put them in after-school program, but you want us to stop our lives. But then you don't want nobody to discipline your child. That's confusion. I'm just telling you the truth. I've seen the kids get up in the cafeteria, yell and scream, jump on top of the tables. I'm telling you what we see. Now, if you don't want your child, give it to somebody who is not able to have a child. Be honest with yourself. If it's too much for you to handle, then like Martin said, stop throwing. Birth control, rubbers, prophylactics. We all are human and we all have human nature. But once you have that 5 seconds of pleasure, it's an 18-year commitment. Now, baby daddy, if you don't like baby mama no more, okay, cool. But do not alienate yourself because I'm mad at mama because whatever. Come on now. Stop acting stupid. Don't blame all the, don't do no more blaming game. Because you don't like each other no more. You don't like him. He don't like you. And you yell at the child for something that you're upset with the mama or the daddy about. And they see this happening, Martin. This is every day. Let's stop acting like we don't see it. You worry about peanuts. You worry about coochie. But then the child is there and you're battling. And now we're in a dangerous time now because if a girl get with another guy and she tell all of what she feels about the man to another man, now he ready to pop off. And vice versa. You don't like the mama no more. So then you got this new girlfriend who you want your child to be pulled between the biological mother. Because young men, let me tell you something. No young lady won't want your new boo in her child's face. And vice versa. You're playing games with children's lives, and then when they get out of control and wayward, then you want to blame the system. No. You've got to take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 boys and 1 girl. My auntie that just passed, she was 96 years old. She raised 5 boys and 1 girl. Let me tell you how we did it. We just gave them what a mother could give a son. It's not easy rearing boys because we don't have testosterone issues. But we give them what a mother would give them. The best that we can. To the best of our ability. And my cousins are successful men, married with family. And she did it by herself.
Mm.
It takes you to understand how. But if you don't want your teenager, you don't want your baby, give them to somebody that will help them. I'm so sick of hearing these kids getting cussed out. I want to slap you in the mouth so bad because you don't know how you sound.
Doesn't matter.
And Martin, you made a point. You cuss out your children like they are grown, like they've been here before, like they know what to do, like they know what's going on. You drag them in the Arab store. You drag them in yours. Then you huffing on the phone. While you're on the phone and you're supposed to be shopping, paying attention to buying food, you arguing in the store on the phone. Everybody got to be an MF. Do you know not to cuss? Or is that the only language you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then when the teacher tell you that your child is out of order, you want to fight them. No, you're wrong for that.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm just saying.
Okay, hold it,
Martin,
Doctor.
I'm just saying that. So now we got children that need our help.
Mm-hmm. I got a couple more callers. You can stay on if you want to. You ain't got to get off. You ain't got to. Okay, Marcus, I know you had called back. I'm going to skip down to this other call, then I'll go back to you, Marcus. I know you called back. Okay, 0973. 0973.
Yes, sir. Hey, Martin.
Hi, how are you?
Everybody on the panel. Everybody, hello.
Yeah. Where you calling from, young lady? Where you calling from?
Chicago Woodlawn.
Okay. All right, come on.
Yeah, Chicago Woodlawn. But anyway, I'm in total disbelief, Martin. I hate to be a problem on your panel.
Oh, Lord.
But I'm heated.
Come on, let's hear it. Let's hear it. This live uncut. This live uncut unedited. Come on, let's hear it. Come on with it. Come on with it.
I have a in my home right now.
You have what?
I don't know her, but I have her and her baby in my home. A young lady.
Okay.
A young lady in my home. And she's the same exact young lady that I think her name is Dr. Sanders, is describing. I had to threaten this girl. I literally threatened her, and I'm dead serious. I threatened her, I will beat you the F up if I catch your baby in any weed spot. These are the conversations I'm having with this young lady. I will beat you up. and she honored what I said. She understood and she knew I wasn't playing and she knows she can't beat me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I'm going through this. Okay? Now, see, it amazes me. I am so amazed. I've heard everybody on the panel. I was in the bushes because it's really past my bedtime. But the topic is so important, I couldn't go to sleep. Okay? And I'm hearing everybody on the panel. We seeing everything that these young girls are doing. We seeing everything wrong that these young girls are doing. Okay? Are we seeing these pedophiles who damage these young girls from a kid? Are we seeing them? If you really want to stop the foolishness, it's time to start looking at some of these pedophiles, and that's in real life. A lot of these children are products of pedophiles. They found my cousin dead in a car on 65th and Everhart. Her pedophile got a hold of her on 63rd and Cottage Grove when she was 15. Started giving her drugs. But y'all expect these young ladies to be productive. We really expect these young ladies to be productive. We expect these young ladies, we have this. Do you know how many men I fight men and I don't lose? Hey, and it's damaging to the mind, especially when she tells somebody and they accuse her of being a liar. That's the most hurtful thing any young lady can go through. And every female I know from 63rd has went through it. And they all had babies. Y'all remember the Dirty Dozen MC that sat on 63rd and Evans? One of them, we beat up one of them men for messing with a girl that went to Macaj. So how is it that we can sit up here and we can discuss every flaw that this baby girl got, and we're not discussing what happened to her? Why is she this way? Why is she this way? So if we can get a hold of these pedophiles that are roaming every hood in Chicago, our little girls will be okay. I'm not saying that's everybody's situation, but honey, it's more pedophile behavior in Chicago in every hood than it is gang violence. Okay? So how we see what this young girl doing and we don't see what our husbands and our brothers and our sons and all of that is, how?
Can I ask you a question?
How?
Let me ask you a
How
question.
do we not even discuss this as a...
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
I can't believe it.
Young lady, let me ask you a question. Are you a victim of that?
Yes, sir.
Are you a victim of a
Most
pedophile?
definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
They just found my cousin dead in a car on Everhart.
No.
It's
Listen.
not just me. Every
Okay.
female I know.
Okay.
The young lady that's living with me now, she's a victim.
A victim of what?
Pedophile behavior.
Okay. Now,
So someone violated her sexually, correct?
Absolutely correct. But we don't see these
Okay.
things. These little girls that come to school,
No.
they come to school every day,
Mhm.
and we don't even know that they have been tampered with by some old man the night before.
Okay, so now
We
is the
ignore
person
these
I
little
think Martin is trying to, what Martin is trying to figure out is the person still wandering the streets? Has he been reported to the police?
All of
Has
them
he been
are.
locked up?
Chicago is filled with pedophiles. They are all roaming the streets. How can we sit up here and pretend like we don't know this? How?
well,
Martin, you do remember when I was telling you about my situation
yeah, I remember about
in
your situation.
childhood
Right, when you went to the
when I
hospital.
was in hospital.
Right,
So
right,
I can relate to what the woman is talking about.
right. But let me just say
We
this.
need to get them young ladies and the boys too therapy, because I'm a victim of that, and I'm a grown man.
Martin, I beat a man with a lock on the blue line for playing with me. That perverted behavior. I beat him with a lock.
Let me ask you a question. When this
and went on
happened,
and got on the bus. with the
hold on. Now you got to explain what a pedophile is. And you said pedophile behavior. You know, pedophile is a person that messes with young children. Underage.
That's exactly what I'm speaking of.
Okay, I just want to make it clear.
Underage.
All right, and you beat her with the lock. Did you call the police?
There's not too many.
Did you call the
There's
police?
not. Nope.
Why you didn't call the police?
Nope. I kept it moving.
So you gonna beat a man up and for approaching you in that manner?
And I did what I had to do.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Martin, do you know how many?
I got him up off.
Martin.
What?
Martin, do you know how many people and families, they don't even talk about it? They just pretend it didn't happen, hoping over time it'll go away.
Oh, it's family secret.
And we expect these young ladies to be productive.
Hello.
Well, I'm gonna throw this name out there.
I got a question.
We expect these young ladies to be
I'm
able
gonna
to
throw
raise
this name out there. The
when
young
they
lady in Woodlawn, I'm in Woodlawn with her, but let me tell you this, I'm gonna throw it out there. There's a young man that violated someone in my family by the name of Boyd. They called him Boyd, Levante Ellis. How we found out was that he violated his sister. His mother put him out the house. He moved with his sister to Joliet, and he openly came back to Chicago and confessed that the reason why he played with his little half-sister's vagina is because he wanted to know how it would be to mess with his girlfriend. And he has not been found. I'm throwing it out there. His name is Levante Ellis. He lives right here on 61st and Drexel. He's in Woodlawn. His grandfather is in Woodlawn.
See, what Black America needs to stop doing is stop pretending that this is not going on in Black America. Stop pretending.
It's happening.
Stop pretending that these kids, stop playing like these kids, and I'm one of them, was not violated by a grown gray ass, what my mother used to call him, a grown gray ass man, then violated some little kid. Black America needs to stop pretending. They need to stop pretending.
Well, let me just.
It's a young lady at my job, Martin, and her baby is a little toddler, and he got beat. So he was black, blue, purple, and red in the face. He had to go to the hospital. The hospital called DCFS. DCFS came out, and the young lady from DCFS determined this was clear neglect. Another child beat the little boy. Do you know the supervisor?
Uh-oh, what happened to the audio?
The record and closed it out.
Okay.
And refused to open up an investigation. So it ain't all about these young girls. We need to get to what's really going on. We know these young girls.
So you got boys too.
We know they out here trying to
too.
get every man they see. But let's talk about what's really going on.
And see, that's the conversation that's never had. That's the conversation that's not had in households. That's so taboo in Black America. Nobody want to talk about all the Chester molester. They don't want to talk about them. But they're going to talk about slavery, systemic racism, sideways racism, and all this other stuff that is not really psychologically affecting Black people as badly as being doggone sexually assaulted as a child does. You carry that doggone for your whole life.
No.
Okay. The whole life.
Now, what needs to happen is that when you have this experience, I don't care who, what, when, where, or how, you open your mouth, because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We can come after anybody. We can. But if we don't know and you don't say nothing, and I'm not saying you, sweetie. What I'm saying is young people. Let me say it like this. You young people, teenagers, middle school, if somebody has violated you, I don't care who it is, you run out of the house to a neighbor, you can hit up Martin, you can hit the police station. I don't care. Open your mouth. But
Mark,
we are not
Mark,
broke. We don't see what's going on.
Mark,
Tell us what's going on.
This who? Hold it. This who?
We'll protect you.
Now listen. Now I'm just saying,
We
young
know
lady.
about little girls.
Oh, let me just say this. Let me just say this, sister. Now I understand you
Yes,
had
sir.
a traumatic
Yes, sir.
experience, but some women have not had this experience. So that's one of the problems in the community with some of these young ladies. But Dr. Sanders, as being a woman, and as Sarge said, we have to tell it. I mean, it don't do no
Yes.
good. It don't do no good holding your secret in silence.
Mark, when they tell it, they accuse the girls of
Well,
lying.
listen.
When they
Well,
tell it,
see,
they accuse the
hold-
girls of
Hold
lying.
it, sister. Hold it.
Sister.
Hold it, Sarge. Hold it, Sarge. First of all, let's just say this. A lot of people are being molested and don't know they're being molested. Now, if an older man fondle you, he haven't penetrated you or anything, but that's a form of molestation, touching, and all that.
Mhm.
And that's a painful, listen, that right there in itself, you have to say something. You have to say something. You can't expect the whole world look at you and say, hey, I believe she been molested by a child molester. No, you have to come out and say things so we can address these things. These are serious matters.
Martin.
No, hold on, bro. No matter if they think
Right.
that you lying on them or not. I got to tell the truth now. Now, listen, you over here screaming and hollering, rightfully so. But if you don't open your mouth and let nobody know whether or not you believe that they're going to believe you or not, that's another story. You have to tell it. You have to put it in the right person possession. Hey, my mom don't believe me. Talk to your school teacher. Talk to anybody and tell them. You have to do that as an adult. I mean, even if it happened in your teenage year, you could discuss it. But as an adult, you have to get it out. Get some counseling. Go ahead, Sarge. And I'll let sister go.
Yeah.
But see, Martin, this is what. Hold on,
We don't have an idea.
sister. Hold on.
We don't
Hold
know
on. Hold
how
on.
to tell it.
Now, hold on. What is not understood by many is those predators. Those predators put children in such a state of fear that they won't tell. And over time, they try to bury that. And over time, they never say anything about it. Trust me, this is going on in the Black community at an astounding rate, a larger rate than we actually know, because there are so many children that were traumatized and petrified as, hold on, sister.
Yes.
They were traumatized and petrified, scared to death, like Chucky from Child's Play is going to come out their closet and get them. You know what I'm saying? And
Can I speak, Mark?
I'm gonna let you speak.
they're petrified. They're scared. They're scared to death. Fear is a monster in its own self. And
Okay.
if
All right, Sarge.
honesty is brought out there and that fear is removed, there we go.
Sarge.
That's
If you notice what I said, even if it happened to you
I
as
do.
a little child, and when you become an adult,
Mhm.
when you can be able to put all the pieces together and understand it, then you can still come out with it too as well. In the state of Illinois, there's no statute
Thank you, Mark.
limitations of rape. Now I understand what you just said, Reb.
Thank you, my brother. Thank
Sarge, I've never been a victim, but I understand what you're saying, because a pedophile will threaten and put fear in a younger person, and they don't know how to express themselves.
Right.
But when you
They
become an
will.
adult,
Can I?
and when you hold on, sister, I'm talking. When you become an adult and you're able to put things together, and when that fear is not as strong as it was when you was a young person, now you can begin to talk about it and tell it. And I understand. And I
Exactly. So
understand.
if you got that size, know you can defend yourself.
Right. I mean, you got some young ladies have been violated, and they walk around here looking like a man because they don't want. They feel like because they feel like they can protect themselves. So if they look like a man, they ain't really worried about another man looking at them or touching them because they've been violated. So I know what's going on. So people, I don't want y'all to think I don't, and I'm not trying to blow nobody off, but we want to get an understanding on this so everybody can understand it. So if anybody that ever experienced this as a young child or a teenager and you never told anyone, now you at the age of an adult and you can put things together, now you can come out with it and talk. Open up your mouth and talk.
That's it.
And go get some counseling to help you through it like it helped me.
All right.
Because it don't bother me no more. Because I know it wasn't my fault.
Okay.
It wasn't my fault.
I got two more people that need to talk. I promise, Marcus, but hold on. Let this lady, she been back 9433. Come on, sister. 9433. Come on. Same time. Yeah. Come on with it.
There's pedophiles all on the east side. My daughter sounded the alarm. I put all three other creeks away. My daughter is getting help. These young people are crying out for help. They are. My daughter is away getting help. If it wasn't for me getting her some help and DCFS, I don't know what I would have did, but I put 3 creeks away. And you have to listen to your kids. You have to listen.
Yes.
When a kid tell you something, you listen to that kid. Yes. So if I had my baby 5 blocks away, then he told the judge, I gave him permission. He threatened my baby. He told my baby he's going to kill me. I don't fear nobody but God. You have to listen to your kids. Parents, listen to your kids. They tell you first, listen. Fondle my baby, had sex with my baby. He's trying to get me to go to jail. But guess who's sitting in jail right now? He's in jail. For the good Lord and me, my baby. Girls, they may look grown, but they not grown. We are their protector. I tell my baby right now today, I'm mama there. So if anybody talk crazy to you, anybody tell you anything, you come see me.
And let me just...
And yes, it's happening in the Black community, and we don't want to admit to it. We gotta admit to it.
Let me say this.
We don't want to accept it, but it's creep time.
Yes. Let me say this. Every parent that's a parent always should have a discussion with your sons and daughters. Once your sons and daughters can describe their body parts, that's when the discussion can begin. I used to tell my children, anybody touch you between your legs, on your buttocks, or rubbing you a certain kind of way, you come back and tell me. That's what I used to tell them. When they start identifying their body parts, you have to have these conversations. And not only this, you can't allow your sons and daughters to spend a night even over some relative house of yours because you want to go out and party.
Exactly.
Most of these molestation cases are from relatives or someone that's close to the family in the same household.
Friend. Yep.
I'm just telling y'all the truth. You don't want to hear it. Some of us, you bring these men in your house and you don't know nothing about them and they're around your babies.
Yep.
You think you walk around in your little nightgown or your negligee, whatever. He ain't paying no attention to you. He paying attention to your 14-year-old daughter that's built like a little brick house. Waiting on the opportunity. Waiting on the opportunity. Let me talk, sister. Waiting on the opportunity to act out his dirty, low-down desires on her. So I always tell women, you have to beware of creepy men.
Yep.
It is your
Mhm,
job
mhm.
as a parent, mothers and
That's
fathers,
right.
to protect your sons and your daughters or anybody that's under your guardianship with your life from these type of incidents. We have some sick people that live among us, and they don't see nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
I'm telling you.
Mm-mm.
They don't see nothing wrong with it. I've been in conversations where men say, well, if it's hair on it, I'm going in on it. I've been around men will say, hey, I can't wait till she get 18. They watching.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell
Mhm.
you, some of these teenagers out here, hold on, some of these teenagers that have babies, 14, 15, 16, 17, listen, you go to the men. Well, she grown now, she got a baby. I can go in on her. Their mama knows she having sex. I'm telling you how men think. Been in circles like that. Hear these conversations. They painful, but they real. And I'm going to tell you, we always focus on the women, but we better watch the boys too. I'm telling you. Watch the boys too. Because you got some sick men out here and they want some booty hole. I got to tell it like it is. And they don't care if it's girl or boy or whoever.
Yes,
Grandmama, whatever. I'm just telling y'all now. Now, I know y'all don't hear me talking like this, but I got to tell you, somebody need to hear this conversation tonight. Hold on. Listen. Somebody needs to hear this conversation tonight. I don't know who. And I hope from this conversation that somebody come out and point out their accuser and get them some help, like Sarge said. Somebody. Let me go to this one more caller. 815. Come on, 815. 815. Come on.
Hey, Martin, it's Kendra.
Hey, Kendra, how you doing?
I'm calling.
All right.
I'm doing good. I'm calling from Freeport, but I was raised in Chicago.
Listen.
I got a good conversation for you, too.
Okay, come on, let's hear it.
Let's talk about the boys whose first sexual experience was by a woman much older than them.
Oh, there we go.
I
believe that.
Watch that movie Learning Tree.
All right, y'all. Come on, Rev. Hold up, Rev. We got to stay on course. One call at a time. Okay. Wow. That's a good one, sister. That is a good one.
Exactly, because most of my male friends, their first sexual experience, they were like 12, 13, and these were women that were in their 20s. So let's talk about the women molesting the boys.
All right. That's yeah.
I kind of was messed with
that's something deep.
You know, what are we gonna do about that? Because, you know, things like that are taboo. You know, it's so unfortunate that so many things within the Black community are taboo. And especially in families, because let's just be truthful and candid. It's all about presentation. You never want something to be known about your family that may tarnish the image to the outside world.
That's why I said they just don't talk about it.
Brother, let's we got to stay in place now. We got a bunch of people on this panel now. Okay. Man, that's something, people. That is definitely something. That is something. That is something. That is
Martin.
Yeah.
Martin.
Yes.
I don't think I told you, but as many of you all remember, back in 2009, Jamar Pinkney Sr. that found out that his son had sexually assaulted his half sister. And he took his son out in Highland, Michigan, told him to take his clothes off, put him in the field, and put a bullet in his head. He got rid of what he, in his mind, thought that his son would do to plague the world. A father that took his son's life. Think about what I'm saying right now. What she just said. Ike Turner was also molested by an older woman. He said it himself in an interview. But this man took his son's life, 15 years old, because he messed with a 3-year-old half. He didn't want the scandal. He didn't want none of that. And he's serving time in Iona, Michigan. He would not be released until 2046. His son did something that he did not want to hurt anybody.
3654. 3654.
Good evening, Martin. This is me, Robert.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
So, I heard the lady saying something about she was on a blue line or something.
Okay. Come on with it.
About some, I guess she's talking about the sexual assault.
Okay.
And I think I know who she's talking about.
Okay.
Say it.
Okay. Ma'am, now this person that you're talking about, do he have braids? And do he wear like a suit all the time?
She's probably not here. Robert, I'm quite sure the young lady, she's grown right now. And she was talking about in her younger, when she was, yeah. So I know it's not, no, unless it's got to be an older person, whoever it is. Now, it's an older person then.
Okay. Because something, because I had to confront a person. I think we were talking about this earlier last year, Martin, about the porn in the library, and I confronted this guy about it.
They can now in a Chicago Public Library, they can watch porn. They can do that. There's nothing they can do about it as long as they're not in the kids section. They can do that. I've seen it.
What?
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. They can watch porn.
Oh.
They can watch porn as long as they're in the adult section. They can watch porn because the library, the computer is public. I've seen it. I'm just telling y'all. As long as they're not sitting in the children's section watching porn, they within their rights. I mean, it's the law. You might not like it. But let me go to Marcus real quick. I told Marcus 3 callers ago. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
I mean, you know what? When people are molested, these molesters do have power over these young people. They tell them stuff like, ain't nobody gonna believe you. A child molester tries to get in with your family, particularly your parents. Get to know your parents, get the parents' trust, and they can talk a good game so well that even the parent will find it hard to believe if the child came to that parent and said, this person is doing this to me. They don't want to believe it. Especially, I go back to the kids that's the kids that's that have problems. As far as I don't want to call them street kids, but kids who are out there in the street, a lot of them have been molested, and they have cried out, and no one has heard they cry. These child molesters come in all titles. They work for the city. They work for you got them on the police department, the fire department. I mean, you got them in the hospital. You got them in the school. And one lady, the lady that called in, you hear a lot about, when you think of a child molester, you think of somebody molesting a boy. But it's a lot of older women who have molested these boys. And that's why it's hard for these boys to follow authority, because they have been sexually violated by older women. And some of them are crack-headed women who will give sex for crack. or weed, whatever way you can get the weed, the fix. They'll give up their body to these young boys, and these young boys being young boys, and their hormones are racing. They're gonna do it and not knowing that they've been molested. But later on down the road, they feel violated, and it hits them that something wasn't right about that moment that they in their life. That's molestation. I'm not no doctor on it. I'm not no social worker on it. But I know that a child molester has a way of putting fear in a kid. Some of them come to them and say, I can make you a superstar. I can make you a rapper, but you got to do this. You know, and then they do it, but they're afraid to tell anybody because what they will tell them is, you know, this person ain't going to believe you. Who's going to believe you? And I know the conversation shifted from the kids on the street, but that plays a lot into the behavior of these kids too. A lot of them have been raped, and some of the parents have sold their daughters out for sex to the drug dealers. Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. These are painful conversations that get swept under the rug, family secrets. Nobody talk about it, you know, and it needs people. And I know somebody right now that was molested, raped, and all that. He didn't go to jail. I think the family beat him up, and that was it. And you know, it's man. And that person right now is still staying right now today. And some of these people can't even stay in a relationship because it reminds them so much of being violated. Reminds them. This thing is real, people. It's real. And don't let no person have a flashback of what trauma that they had in their youth, laying in bed with a man or something and start going crazy. The man be like, man, what did I do? You know, it can happen, people. This thing is real. These conversations. Yeah, Marcus.
No, and that's the thing. That's the conversation black folks don't want to have.
Yeah.
You said, but it's real. I mean, a flashback is real. But I remember I was in this program when it kept kids out of trouble at there. I was in this program in Inglewood. It was at the old Echo Center. And I was waiting for the group counselor to come down and get me. They had the mental ward in there too. So this older woman, I was 15. The older woman said, I should take you home with me. I got up and told the reception bed. And she told me, don't pay her no attention. She's mental. But even her saying that to a child was considered child molestation. Just saying that. I should take you home with me and let you, I ain't going to tell you the rest of it. But I was one of those kids who tell my parent everything.
Yeah, but you know, parents
stuff
don't have,
like that.
They don't have the relationship with their sons and daughters. They cuss them out so much, and when a daughter or son want to approach them, they can't do it. It's like they shut up. You got young teenagers right now. Somebody pregnant right now. They can't tell their mother. Can't talk to her. You got a young teenager right now. This probably discharging from his penis. Excuse me, have an STD. Don't know how to talk to his father. Don't know how to talk to his mother. That gets him how to handle that thing. Vice versa. People, we have to leave a line of communication open for our own children in our household. It's hard.
With no judgment.
It's hard. It's hard. Trust me, I'm going through some things similar to that right now, trying to get through my daughter. You know, just phone. Hold on, baby. You got to sit down. Put that phone down. Let's talk. What you think about? What's on your mind? You know, did you go to school today? What's going on? We have to do that, people. And I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all the story real quick. I ain't gonna make it long. I ain't gonna do a Sarge on this. I'm messing with Sarge. Listen, it's a friend of mine. It's a friend of mine. He owned a thrift store. And he was an openly gay guy. And I have, professional women come inside the store and all that. And the young lady was telling him how good this person Shorty was to her and her kids and all that. And so finally, the young girl told the mom that, hey, when you was leaving going to work in the morning, Shorty was coming in my bedroom and screwing me. And the mother was so appalled, right? She found out years later after Shorty died and all that. But the mother was so stuck on Shorty for being like, she was assuming that he was a good father, financially there and all that. But the moment the mother leave out the door, Shorty was in the bed with the daughter, the young daughter. The daughter never told her until she got almost grown. And it crushed the mother. So I'm telling parents this: pay attention. Pay attention in your household. I always tell you, when your man get up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and take that leak, go in the hallway, you get up with him. Make sure you're listening. Make sure you're not going in that room. Open up. I'm just checking to see if they're all right. No, they're all right. Leave that door closed. Come on back up in here. I'm just telling you. Do not allow your sons and daughters to sit in laps of adults that you don't know, and some that you do know. Don't allow it. I'm just telling you now, you can take this conversation and do whatever you want with it. You can't say that Crime Chaser guy didn't tell you. I told you. And you don't know what's in the hearts, in the minds of people. You got people out here that's sick and don't look like they sick in the mind. Will do you. If you turn your back long enough, they'll get your children. And you got to be careful what you entertain in front of your children and around your children. You have to be careful. Now, I'm not trying to break up no family saying that you can't have no man and I'm not that. You just have to be careful. You have to be careful. It's another story, a true story. Somebody might know this. It was a young lady. She dated a man, just got out of prison. You know, they get out of prison, they skin smooth, they cut up and everything. And she went to work. Here's it. And the mama and her boyfriend trying to screw the young girl. And he wound up killing her. Then the brother tried to come and take off and killed both of them. Killed both. Now, she been good to this bomb. She done took this bomb in her house and everything. And he done killed two of her kids. Because his lustful desire. Ladies, start doing backgrounds on some of these men. Okay? Do it. Find out who they are. Don't bring them to your house until you know who they are. Don't even introduce them to your children, your teenagers, your grown children, until you really know who they are. You can date outside the house. You ain't got to bring them in the house. You can date outside the house. You ain't never got to bring them around your children, if that's your choice. But when you do, if you do, you make sure that you see his ID, because some of you young ladies out there are dating men that you've never seen their ID. You don't know who they are. All you know is Pookie Red, Slim Jim, Slick Ray. You've never seen their ID. Seriously. So you don't just have to watch the girls, you got to watch the boys too, because they like boys too. And you got some people out here, they don't care who they bust. I got to be real, busting up with, girl or boy. They don't care. They just want to bust a nut. They want to act out their sexual desire. And don't care who child it is or nothing. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
When you are
man, Martin, how Martin, I meet women, they got kids, all that's all good. I'm like, you want to spend time with me? You come to my house. You come to my house. I'm not gonna be over there over your kids. Now, if that's what you used to doing, then you do what you do. But if you're gonna be with me, we're gonna be doing grown folk business. You coming to where I'm at, where there are no children. That's how I roll.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Martin?
Yes, go ahead.
Just a word of advice for, anybody, even with men. When you meet people, like you said, get as much information of theirs that you can. And you can go on county circuit court website. You can search up criminal backgrounds. You can search up civil alias that person may use to pop up. And depending upon the police station, if they're nice enough, they'll run that person's name for you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, well, see, when it comes to me, all they got to do is run their cell phone over here.
Yeah. Sarge, let me ask you a question. Since this happened to you, can you tell my audience what are some of the telltale signs of a person that involved in this type of behavior, or what's some of the telltale signs of a person that has been traumatized by this, a young person? Can you kind of tell us?
Well,
that?
I can tell you about the traumatized. I can't tell you about nobody engaging in it because I never did.
Okay.
But they become withdrawal, quiet. They be off to themselves. They don't want to do other things that all the other kids want to do. They want to be left alone. They kind of hide out to themselves in like a cubby hole because they scared. See? And you can't blame parents for not knowing. I mean, I didn't really go outside the house and play like good till I was like 12, 13 years old. And nobody saw anything wrong with it because they knew how violent it was in Inglewood. Like, well, he's scared of being out there around them because they always doing this, doing that. No, it wasn't that. It was a whole other situation.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's for those that say, oh, he hates Chicago, he blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I don't have nothing but bad memories.
No, don't worry about that.
That's the reason I left.
Okay, but
I don't. Trust me, I don't. But I did that so, for my own sanity. So I ain't got to be being reminded every time I go to a certain place or a certain whatever. It's reminding me of something that I don't want to, be trying to deal with. That's gonna mess with my mental.
Okay, I got another caller.
As a matter of fact, I stayed in a marriage. I stayed in a bad marriage until this girl was 17 years old. Just so her mama wasn't going to be divorced from me, and now she going to start living her hot girl whatever, because she had a daughter, and this girl looked like a grown-ass woman at 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because I know what these guys do. They get with the mama. They're looking at the daughter. As soon as the mama want to say something, they whoop it on the mama and doing things to the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't want to be with this woman no more, but I don't want that girl to be a victim. So I stayed in that marriage until that girl was 17. That's when that's when I divorced that woman. We was in divorce court right before her 17th birthday because I knew she was at an age she could defend herself.
Reb, hold it right there. I got another caller. Let me just, I want to say this too. I've known of parents put their teenage daughter out because the teenager told her that the boyfriend is looking at her in a certain type of way. So the mother took it as, you shouldn't be so fast. You wearing all them tight clothes and all that. That's crushing. That's crushing. See, one thing about a woman, they can feel when a man looking at them a certain way, certain vibe. They know when a man is stripping their clothes off, and he may not never touch them, but they can feel that vibe. You know, you can feel that it's a strong vibe that you can feel. You know, but some parents, they ignore these red flags. They ignore it. They want a man so bad, they put the teenager daughter out. You know, you ain't nothing but a slut. You ain't nothing but a whore. You ain't nothing but that. Just to protect the man that they think is there for them. I've seen it happen, brother. I've seen it happen. And now we facing those problems too. But
I know you did.
Hey, caller, 8714. I think that's Erica. Come on, Erica.
Hey, Martin. Hey, everyone. Yeah. So, I was hearing some of the conversation, and I just wanted to chime in. For those that don't know, I have my degree in social psychology, so I can provide a couple of tips and just information from the conversation. And so, first things first, there is something called groomers. So these are the ones who are intentional about what they do. They tend to be a little older. They can be younger, but they tend to be a little older. And what the signs to look out for is when you have a child or a small child or a teen or somebody who's vulnerable, and they take a sudden interest in your child. Now, it's obviously if you have a child, you're a single mom, you don't want to be with a man who doesn't give a dang about your child, obviously. But it's a different type of vibe. It's like the fact you have a child is what is attracting them to you. It's the fact you have a vulnerable child that's making them want to speak to you. You might notice that they tend to gravitate towards people or women who they see with small children or children. Those are called groomers. They are literally targeting you, sis. They are literally targeting you, parent, because they see you with what they really want, which is your child. So you got to pay attention to that. They're overly friendly to the child off rip. You know, they're overly interested in the child off rip. They are only trying to gain trust with you to get access to your child. They have to pay attention to that. Second thing, this might seem uncanny, but it's actually a more modern sign. And this is might trigger some people, but I'm talking as a person with a degree in this. If you speak to a man and you have a teen daughter or underage child, and he is very adamant about defending people like R. Kelly, people like Bill Cosby, people who have come out as being doing discussing sexual acts of molestation or rape or things like that, and they are going hard for those people. I'm not talking about from some like just ignorance of like, hey, maybe it was a setup or whatever, but I'm talking about they going hard from the perspective of, oh, them girls knew they wanted it. Them females knew they wanted it. When you hear a man speak like that about victims of sexual assault, that they wanted it, that they knew what they was going up in that room to do, whenever you hear those types of words come out of a man's mouth, keep them away from your children. Keep them away from your daughters. They have the mind of a molester. It don't even matter if they molested. They have the mind of one. That the victim wanted it. That there is something a child could possibly do to entice an adult. If you ever hear from a grown man that there is something a child can do to make a grown man rape them or have sex with them, keep that man away from your child. And that is what I wanted to say, Martin.
Okay. Now, Erica, let me ask you a question. What about those teenagers that are out there having sex, selling sex, 15 years old, 14 years old, stripping, got a body like a grown woman? What about them? And a grown man have sex with them? What do you call that?
So, yeah. So when it comes, I think of it like this, right?
Okay.
I'm in my 30s. If a 15-year-old boy, even if I'm 5'1", right?
Hmm.
But if there's 15-year-olds that are taller than me, Martin.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them.
15-year-old boys that
A
are
lot
bigger
of them. A lot of them. Go ahead.
a lot of them. I'm only 5'1", but I'm a grown ass woman at my age. And if I pretend like I don't know the difference between when I'm talking to a 15-year-old, just because he's taller and bigger with muscle, then when I'm talking to a grown man, I'm a lie. I'm a whole lie.
Okay.
Period.
Well,
you know when you're dealing with a child.
And you're 100% correct. Let me tell you this too. You have women out here that's selling sex. When I say selling sex, oral, whatever they're selling, and you have some men with the attitude, I'm not going to ask no questions. I just want to get service. Seriously. Now, you know, it's no joke.
Exactly.
Seriously. And somebody, hold it. Some of these strip clubs that these men attend are underage teenagers, underage adults.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in the back. They got little VIP rooms where they commit sexual acts for money. Private room. This is real, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know you're right.
This is real.
And that's called sex trafficking.
Right. And that's what's going on. The men like that, they cool their conscience. I ain't gonna ask no question. It's like somebody bring you some stolen merchandise. In your mind, you know it's stolen, but you're gonna buy it anyway, but you ain't gonna ask no questions. And that's the same way when it comes to underage sex, trafficking, prostitute, strippers, or all that. Men not gonna ask no questions. They're gonna put that money down on the wood. Boom. It's the same thing, though.
And just to touch on what you're absolutely right, Martin. And just to touch on what you said, that is the mind of a molester. That is the mind. See, there is a mind of a molester versus doing the act and ending up in jail, ending up in court, you know, blah, blah, blah. What we need to be watching out for as parents, I have a 3-year-old son. What we need to be watching out for as parents is the mind of a molester. And I'm talking to the women right now who are dating or dealing with men. When you deal with a man on a sexual level or any type of level, you understand his sexual vibe. I'm talking some real stuff to the women right now. Maybe the men don't even know what I'm speaking of right now, but the women know exactly what I'm talking about. And men, I'm exposing some secrets right now to y'all. When we interact with you on a sexual level of any kind, we understand your sexual vibe by the way you deal with us. When the way you deal with us, for example, because like I said, I'm 5'1", I'm in my 30s, but most people think I'm in my 20s. I have a girlish quality about me, depending on what I wear, depending on how I dress. If I'm with a man in a sexual context, and he seems to have an appeal to when I'm in a girly vibe, when I'm looking very younger than my age, because I like bunnies, I like things like that. When I'm being in my little girly stage or phase, if he seems to sexualize that, as opposed to, just think it's cute and charming, like he should, but instead he finds it sexual when I'm being girly, like a little girl, that's a sign, okay? The fact that he gets aroused when I'm being like a little girl, because I should be able to be like a little girl as a woman when I want to be, when I feel safe.
It's called role
But you
play.
shouldn't find it sexy. You should find it cute. Exactly. You should find it cute and endearing or whatever. But if that's what gets you up, I don't want to get too explicit on the call, but if that's what gets you up, when I'm in my most girliest, youngest looking stage, but when I'm in my womanish phase, you're not as aroused, that's a sign. That's a sign. So it's like women, we know when we interact with men, their vibe. We like women, I can't even go into all of it, but you know what I'm talking about. Even when you're having sex with them,
the things that turn them on, that you do or don't do. You know what they're on. So, like, pay attention, because think of that man in those sexual contexts if he was exposed to a butt-naked 13-year-old. And if you can't in confidence say that he would not put a robe around her and say, I need to find your parents and take you the way you need to go, don't deal with that man. If you know good and well the man you're dealing with would be aroused and take advantage of her and have sex with her rather than cover her with a robe and get her to safety, don't deal with that man. You know what I'm talking about, women. You know these type of men. They will have sex with her instead of getting her to safety. You know that you know because you've been with them. You've engaged with them on a sexual level. That's what I want to say, Mark.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I mean, we've learned a lot. Maybe we need to pick this up tomorrow because this is a great conversation that needs to be had. And you know, these are some of the secrets, not just in the black races, in all races. You have some people have sex with their own children. So it's not a black thing. So let's get that out of the window. It's not a black thing. Sex don't discriminate. Demonic, you know. So it is what it. And you have some people that's out here sick and they live among us. They are fathers, they are uncles, they are mothers, they are aunties, and they are nieces, and they, you know, hey, they out here. They are grandmothers. They sick. They sick. And they value things for you not to tell or say anything. You know, it's a dirty secret. So this is real. Part 2 tomorrow, people. We're gonna end it right there. Part 2 tomorrow. We'll pick it up tomorrow. We've been on here 2 hours and
have a good night, Martin.
You guys too. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all share this video because people need to hear it. Please share it.
Good night, Martin.
Please share it. Thank you guys. Please share. I want to thank all my panel, for everybody for tuning in tonight. Those that still awake with us. Thank you so much. This is live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, people. It's what it is. I don't know about you. I love being black. I love being black. And thank you, sister, for bringing this up. You know, it kind of detoured the conversation, but it was needed. It was needed. And this is one of the problems that our young people are having. They have been sexually abused and molested, verbal abuse, cussed out, physical abuse, and all that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm out of here.